I'm with Lisa Marie Barron, and she is the MP for Nanaimo, Ladysmith in British Columbia. So what do you think's been accomplished so far at the convention?
Well, first and foremost, this is the first time that we have had an opportunity to gather in 5 years. This is my first ever NDP convention, so what an amazing opportunity it's been for us to be able to come together, talk about our common values, to be able to see each other face to face. It goes it's much nicer for us to be able to meet in person.
Right.
As much as I love meeting people and talking to people virtually, it's just not the same as being able to have those interactions in person. So coming together, talking about the areas that we feel like we've had wins on, talking about the challenges that are happening, and the path forward, united together.
So the path forward, I guess the leader got an 81% endorsement. And, well, first of all, just talk to me about that. Is that
it's a strong mandate, absolutely. I mean, it's clear that Jagmeet Singh is a strong leader, that the membership agrees that he's a strong leader. That's a really strong number, and he has done so many great things to date. He has lots of work to do moving forward, and I'm happy to see that the membership agrees with that.
And how do you see the endorsement of the pharmacare resolution, which is basically a message to the Liberals, give us what we want on pharmacare or we're out of this deal? How do you see that for him going forward, for Mr. Singh?
Yeah, well, I mean, it reinforces that the NDP membership agrees that moving forward with pharmacare, with a national, universal, single-payer pharmacare is the way forward, that we need to see pharmacare made accessible for Canadians. Canadians are struggling to make ends meet, and I'm talking to seniors, families. I was talking to a woman recently who has diabetes, as just one example, in my riding, and she had to be choosing between food in the fridge with her children or her diabetes medication. It's not okay. We live in a country where people need to have access to the medication, often life-saving medication, and having a universal pharmacare plan in place is a priority for people. And this is a unanimous push that's happening, not unanimous, but clearly a strong push that's happening within the NDP membership.
So you're an MP, and Lisa Marie Barron from BC.
Yes.
If the leader says, with the advice of caucus or whatever, this pharmacare thing they're offering us doesn't cut the bill, are you willing to go to an election over that? Because then the Prime Minister will have to look for other support in the House. He just might not have it the way he has it with the NDP.
Listen, there's lots of work that needs to happen. We have seen progress to get us to where we are to date, and we're going to keep on fighting every day to see that pharmacare put into place, because Canadians deserve to have access to the medication that they need and deserve. And so that's my goal. I'm going to keep pushing for that alongside Jagmeet Singh to see us, see Canadians finally having access to that national pharmacare program, to have access to the medications.
Okay, so my final point, and I guess it's a subject that really interests you, a resolution passed on electoral reform.
Sure did.
And tell me, you've got something that's coming to Parliament soon.
I do. So I'm very lucky that I get to bring forward my private member's bill coming up in the coming weeks. And my private member's bill is looking at finally calling Trudeau's government to account for their promise on electoral reform. Right now we have 30% women in politics. It's nowhere near enough. And we've heard Trudeau run off of electoral reform. Canadians are feeling frustrated that politicians are not moving forward with electoral reform. What my motion intends to do is to call on the government and say we need to have a tool in place for Canadians to be able to move forward in identifying the best way to strengthen our democracy. So that's not just looking at how to increase representation, how those votes are counted, but also to look at the voting age, to look at the way in which we vote. It's our responsibility to make sure that Canada's democracy is as strong as possible and that we have the representation in the House that matches our communities. So that's the goal of the motion that we're bringing forward, and we saw a resolution that came forward here by the membership as well. That passed. Clearly this is an issue that's very important important to the NDP's hearts, and I'm going to keep on pushing for that.
Well, it is a private member's bill. Sometimes they're difficult to pass, and the Prime Minister has closed the door on this, but I'm sure you'll keep trying.
Do you know, I'm hoping that door is just open enough that we'll be able to see this push through. The Liberals did have a resolution on this issue as well that passed at their convention, and I'm going to be hosting a town hall on the Hill where I have a Liberal sponsor, I have a Green sponsor, still working on the Conservatives in the bloc, but the hope is that we'll have members from all parties coming together, because this is not a partisan issue. This is a responsibility to strengthen our democracy, and my hope is that we can have all members agree that we need to move forward with the tools to be able to do that.
Okay, it's great to talk to you, and have a fun rest of the day.
Thank you so much.
And that's Lisa Marie Barron, a BC MP.
That's
Thanks a lot.
right. Thank you.